Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Now remember, when things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean.
Well, good evening, Slim. You're the only one that's arrived so far. Welcome back. This is our main event of the evening, folks, here on VP4 TV, back in Virtual Pool 4 Online. And we're here for the big match of the night. And it's a match between Albinario from Sweden and Larry from the USA, neither of whom are in the lobby when I just checked here, but it's the round 1, 2, 3, round 4 match. And the winner will go through and play Cobra. The loser will go through to the one lost side, where they will play semi-pro. That's the deal tonight, and either way, it's tough. So, Larry has arrived. He's just arrived in the lobby. Albinario, no doubt, will be in a minute or so's time. He's going to do his warming up on the table again. So, welcome to Bedhead. So, Albinario's got somebody in his corner. Well, Larry, I think it's also about Larry. Both are going to make the odd mistake, but the one that makes the fewest mistakes and takes advantage of the other's mistakes is the one that's going to come out on top. Larry's got a pretty good touch on this table, but he knows that he has to be on the ball tonight to give Albinario a match. It could run close. Welcome to Brain Fill Out. Welcome to anybody else who's joined us, of course. The match that we had earlier on was the match between Semi-Pro and Mark Sharp, which was going pretty well for Mark Sharp. He took advantage of the errors by Semi-Pro early on, but then suddenly he fell out the game, and from 5-all, it was a lost cause pretty much after that. He just couldn't get the job done, and he started making his own errors, which then added to the misfortune. So Semi-Pro goes through. Semi-Pro wasn't happy with his mouse. Well, the answer to that is make sure you've got a mouse that's working. Can't you give any better advice than that? I'll just blow my nose while I'm at it. Right, that's taken care of that. So we're rapidly approaching the dishing out of the prizes for this tournament. Another quick reminder to anybody who hasn't been around, maybe the last couple of days, I don't think that would be the case, but a reminder to anybody who is interested in taking part in the VP4 League's testing phase. You need to go to the support page there, go down to the contact button, hit that, and you're sending a message to support. So in the subject box, you type in VP4 Leagues, and just type what I type. I just type I am in and send it. That's all you need to do. But you also obviously have to be available if you can. We don't know what those times are going to be, but if you're in, you're in. Now, there obviously might be more than enough people who will be there. It'll be then down to however many Steve wants and however many decides. So we'll see how that comes about. But in the meantime, we're waiting on the action starting. Larry's raring to go. Albinario's leaving it to the last minute as usual. But I presume he's all set to come in. We just have to bide our time until he shows up. Now, who was it that mentioned in the stream the other night there about John Virgo? About, who was it? It was obviously somebody from the UK. Was it Mark? Was it Steve? I can't remember. So, I don't see any predictions coming in from the chat. It's a race to 13, remember. So let's have them. One Pocket Slim says 14.10. Bedhead says 13.9. Well, it's the same. I mean, it is the same sort of thing. I just sound like a broken record. I think the favourite, no doubt, will be Albinario. But, you know, Larry's a much more stronger player that will give him the best chance of hanging in there till the business end of the match. And the deeper Larry can go and the less errors that Larry can make, the better his chances. I think if he can hang in deep, then it's anybody's. Albinario has arrived right on time. We're about 30 seconds away from that room going up. And then we'll have the lag for the break. Alternate break, remember. But all important, these little bits of bad running, good running, anything can come into the mix in this match, particularly in this table. We've seen what these middle pockets are like. They give you nothing. If you don't nail it spot on, it ain't going in. But you need that deft little touch and control on that cue ball. That's the most important thing. And especially in this game, the manoeuvring of this cue ball, the dinky little touches, and the softer you can control the cue ball, the better. So the room is up. Let's get in. Cloth at the right colour. Larry's in. He's raring to go. And we're just waiting on Albinario arriving. Good evening to Dwight. And welcome to anybody else who's sitting silently watching. Well, this should be a good match. It certainly should be a good standard. So here we are. If I can get my donut to work again. We've got Albinario at the bottom of the screen. That's him there. Larry at the top. And Larry's lag looks pretty good. Albinario's looks better though. He's absolutely nailed that. That was an excellent lag by Albinario. And Larry wasn't beating that. I mean, Larry probably thought that was a pretty damn good lag. But Albinario has got the weight of the lag perfect. But Albinario has come up dry, but the 8 ball is dead. It's going nowhere. 8 ball stuck to the rail, yellow ball blocking its passage to the pocket, and red ball blocking its passage to the bottom pocket. So there's a bit of manoeuvring to be done here, and this could get tactical right away here. Thing is that if Larry plumps for the Reds, he's got no ball that's really adjacent that'll allow him to do anything with that 8 ball. It looks as if he's drawn to the rail with inside English, I think. He might have been trying to put bottom left on that cue ball there to spin it off that top rail. When the bottom left goes on the cue ball, it spins it that direction. He might have tried that, but obviously a misjudgment. He could have been trying to kick the 8 ball out there. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It looked like it though. And he can certainly do a bit of damage here because these 2 yellows, one of them's blocking the pass for the other red. And what's Larry trying here? I don't believe it. I mean, if he tried to cut that in the side, it looked awful tight. But I think he's just content to leave it awkward for Albinario at the moment. Albinario punching his yellow onto his other yellow to get rid of the red. But he's knocked the red in. So Larry's tactic worked. And Larry's got the free shot. Now, what can he do with the free shot? He could draw off the red, draw into the 8 ball so that it punches onto the yellow to free the 8 ball. He could do that. Well, that's not really improved the situation a great deal, though. I think he might have been better just popping the red down the table and drawing onto the 8 so it hit that yellow and get the 8 ball into the table. But maybe he's content to keep things still fairly tight. Welcome to semi-pro. Well done. I just thought Mark was doing okay, taking the chances that he did get from the errors that semi-pro made. I just think Mark sort of lost his way and started, once those mistakes started creeping in from Mark, that was him done for. So semi-pro's spying on his next opponent. But who's it going to be? Well, Albinario has now committed himself here. And Larry, well, that first shot he had with that free shot, Larry's normally aggressive to try and get the game done. And he refused to draw off that red ball to try and break into the 8 ball and get it out into the table. And now Albinario's got rid of his yellow. Albinario's committed 100% here to running out. And this could backfire on Larry. Oh yeah, that's the one thing you don't want to do semi-pro. You don't want to see when you're in a tournament like this, especially in this table. I think it's bad, a bad idea to be messing about with other games, particularly snooker. And then the physics and the movement in that compared to, and then having to adapt down to this table. It's a big jump. But it's a big mistake from Larry, I think, definitely in this first rack, because he didn't commit himself. He had one option, which was to draw off the red ball and bump that 8 ball so that it came out into the table. I think it would have been a far better position. He still would have had a pot on after his free shot, and Larry refused to do it. And Albinario, he grabbed the bull by the horns and went for it and got it. So Larry will be kicking himself there. I think he missed an opportunity to go for the kill, and he got a wee bit defensive in trying to keep that 8 ball there. And as soon as Albinario got a sniff, he wasn't hanging about. I'd be interested to know what Larry's thinking was there when he refused to really have a go opening the 8-ball. Because he's now seen what Albinario is capable of doing. Albinario has chosen the yellows, but he's got the problem up table. So Larry now running out of balls. Now that red obviously goes, but where he is now, he's going to have to play a good shot if he's intended to come around the angles and back up the table. If he takes the red next to the 8-ball, he'll then end up probably with no great angle in that red. So oh yeah, I mean if you hadn't made those errors early on and Mark hadn't taken those opportunities, then yes, you could have ran away with it a lot sooner. But that's what kept Mark in the match early on. And meanwhile, Larry's missed his red. Albinario, I don't know whether he's got any angle here. It doesn't look any good angle to get to those two yellows, but he might be trying to get it off the next yellow, the one that's up table and down from those two yellows. I think that's what he's got in mind here. I don't know whether he's quite got there. Now, he might be able to bump this off the red onto the yellow and split them. He might be able to do that. It's hard to say. I don't think he likes it. He's looking around, but maybe he's committed to it. No, he's going another way. Is he going to come down this side? He's got to leave himself the angle. If he's going this way, he could be coming back across, but he might be just going this way. Oh dear.
Where's the cue ball going?
There's JV. Well, Larry, you've been handed your opportunity. The first big error from Albinario. Larry has his free shot. Well, I think he's got to get into the middle of the table. He doesn't want to be dicing with the side rail. Yeah, into the middle of the table. Now this is tricky because he's got to, if he leaves himself to take this 8-ball in this red in the side, which is really about his only option unless it goes up table, he's playing the combo. That's probably the sensible way, and it has to stay over the pocket. Just got to get this to the pocket and no more. That'll do. Now, it's 2 rails, I would think. Nope, he's going to leave it long. He's overhit it though. See how deft a touch you need. I mean, he's still got the cut, but he would have liked it straighter than this. And that's well done. So, the big mistake from Albinario. Well, that's better when the cue ball's running slower, bedhead. And in this table, there's not much time for a cue ball to get to a pocket. Blink and you miss it. Right, so Albinario's break in rack number 3 has come up dry. Now, I was talking about this earlier. Look at how these balls have split. Apart from one red, they've all split to both ends of the table. You've got all the yellows at one end and pretty much all the reds at the other end. It's weird. It might be weird, but it's a great chance for Larry. And immediately he's gone dodgy. He can't see the one up top. He's got a deft little cut. And he's got a dodgy roll into the side. And, well, that's a bonus. Because he got that all wrong. I mean, that's for that ball to drop into the side is a big escape there for Larry. But he's now got 2 problem reds. And he's going to have to dink them. That's what he's going to try. No, he's not trying it. He's just trying to keep it safe. I thought again he was going to go for the kill. So Larry's the surprise for Larry is with a 9-ball mentality that Larry's got, and he's always had it. He's usually going for the kill, and he's not being tentative. He's just trying to keep it tight. It backfired in the first rack. He's prepared to bide his time. And of course, it's obvious, you know the danger with Albinario. And that's not got to a rail. So now Larry can deal with his problem. And every ball is there. And he should be in the lead. Oh dear. I mean, it's amazing. Well, he's okay, he's got the red up the table, but he didn't want to finish like that. But it's a really, I tell you, there's some of you guys watching this, you've maybe watched the streams, but have any of you actually went in and played some of this black ball? I mean, it's scary, this table. It's so scary in terms of your touch. You daren't fart in case you move the cue ball. That's how bloody dodgy this table is. I mean, the cue ball just wants to leak away and leak away and leak away. Look where he's ended up now. I think he's okay. Now, is he hitting the centre of the cue ball? I think he is. Now it's leaking away again. And it's just threatening to go funny here. He's got to play a good shot in this to get the cue ball out into the table. So the bounce off the rail, he doesn't want to go square, and he's played it well. Controlled the cue ball, so it just went up the table there. And he's wide open on the 8-ball. So the error from Albinario has been duly punished. And now Larry has the break in rack number 4. And I think that's dry. It certainly is. Or is it? Yes, it is. It seems a wee bit laggy. Taking a while there. Maybe there was a ball spinning and I didn't see it. Maybe that's what it was. But, well, this table, I mean, obviously can start with a yellow. The other 3 yellows right next to the cue ball, they all go. The yellow goes into the side, the other yellow goes into the side, and they should be looking at getting out here. You've got the one problem yellow is the one up the top. And where the 8-ball is, that's the problem. And he might want to try and see if he plays this yellow into the side, there's a chance he's going to nick that yellow. If he ever gets on that yellow from this position. So this is still dodgy. I mean, he's going to have to play well to get out. They all are available one way or another, but it is by no means easy. Now, I don't know whether Albinario played that right. I think he was trying to cut that yellow and he's got it wrong. I think he's taken his eye off it there. Because he got far too much of the other ball and virtually nothing of the one that I think he was trying to cut. Because, you know, he's left Larry a shot to get started. And that was a strange one. I don't know what you guys think. What did you think, Bedhead? What Albinario was doing there? He looked as if he was trying to play the cut there on that other yellow and got way too much of the first one. I think he might maybe just misjudged the contact. But it's sort of called Larry's bluff in a way. Larry's nudged the 8 ball more into play. It has called Larry's bluff to go for the kill here. Yeah, well, that could be the case. Yeah, he got that. He got the second yellow way too thick. But definitely, I think that's what he had in mind in cutting the other one. And just, he misjudged it. And now the cue ball's dinking down table. And now Larry's got no shot. Or has he? Well, that red there does cut into the side. And the advantage Larry's got is that it's a bigger pocket with the other yellow very adjacent covering the knuckle. Now, if he does cut that, he's going to hit this yellow. He might hit it half ball and go that way. He might hit it full in the face. Well, he's trying to nudge it off the rail off the yellow, and this is the one on the side there. I don't know whether he actually considered cutting that one on the side. But anyway, it's given Albinario a chance, and Albinario has all these yellows available. So if you drop that yellow into the side, you're not really dropping through far enough to get the other one comfortably in the side. So he's now got balls at both ends of the table here, and this one down below, this one here, is the one he's got to get to. I mean, there's plenty of room to come down for this yellow. And again, the angle's too much for comfort to cut that other one into the side. Well, now he's in a good shape. He can just roll forward. Got to roll through far enough, though. Well, now, if you just go through, and if he goes through far enough, he can have it in the side, but he's more likely to take it long, I would think, depending on how brave he's going to be with this shot. I mean, this is more of a cut, so this cue ball will come that way. Is he putting a wee bit of right on it? He's putting a wee bit of right on it, which would mean he's want to come this way. And it needs to keep going. That little bit of right English brings the cue ball back this way, as opposed to just putting top on it where it would go that way. And that's well done. So, again, I don't know whether Larry looked at that cut on the red into the side off the yellow that was over the side. But Larry chose a different shot. He chose to bump a red to the rail to catch the yellow to try and get in. I think that's what he tried. But it backfired because that was his last shot, and Albinario is all square. And what's more, it was on Larry's break. So Albinario has broke off in rack number 5. And I think 4 balls have gone down. But look at the way these are lined up. I mean, this is weird as well. There's weird patterns of balls happening in the break in this game. They've all got their guardian. And Albinario's got one yellow he can get to, one red, sorry, that he can get to, and he's then going to hope to bump something, but he's ended up dead straight. I mean, that he doesn't need to bump the other one, he just needs to drop through. But this is a delicate little touch. And he's just fell short again. Steve keeps mentioning it, getting caught out with this light cue ball. It just died. And now he's awkward. And it's got a path past the 8 ball. But again, it's an awkward angle because the cue ball's just running away the wrong direction. And that means that he would have to get the cue ball moving if he pots that red into the corner. So this is dicey for Albinario. It's a tricky setup here. But he's got the cue ball to a reasonable line, but as I say, the line now is that he's too close to the yellow. He would have much rather have been that way, this angle, so that he could pot it and stop the cue ball, or at least go to the rail and have a shot in the 8. Now he's completely wrong. He's trying to draw off this and get lucky, I think. But he's got to get the right hit so he can just come back. And it's went wrong. And that's again this cue ball catching everybody out. But Albinario, well, we saw what he did when he had kick shots against Mal. This is by no means easy. I mean, he can certainly hit it. He's going to need a big chunk of luck here for this 8 ball to go. Well, wow, what a shot. I mean, that's enough to make you quit, isn't it? Look at that for a kick. Oh, that's a sore one for Larry to take. I mean, as I said earlier, we've seen what Albinario did to Mal when Mal put him in 2 snookers and left him a kick. And Albinario got himself in trouble there, and he's bailed out big time. What a kick. Okay, you can say there's a bit of luck in it, but you've got to pick the line off the rail to get the hit. And Larry, in the space of 10 seconds, thinking he's going to have a free shot, maybe, and a chance to lock Albinario up if he didn't have a free shot, he's just watched Albinario kick that 8 ball into the top right-hand corner. And that's painful to watch. Well, I don't know what happened there. But Larry's just given up the table to Albinario here. Albinario's got the choice of what he wants, because these reds... Well, there's one slight problem, Red, that you've just got to get good on there, or from there into the side. There's the other one there. But I don't know what Larry did there. What was Larry trying to do there? I was busy looking across at the chat. Did I miss a scratch? The last shot Larry played wasn't a scratch. He was playing at a ball, was he not? That's got me totally confused. That's the price you pay for having a look across at the chat and then something happens and you miss the damn thing. But either way, Albinario's at the table. I don't know whether he can avoid that yellow. I don't think he can. Yeah, what I'm thinking, what I'm trying to work out is what Larry was trying to do with his visit there. He just gave up the table to Albinario. He never got a ball near a hole from what I saw, or what I caught the end of. Well, now, again, this will be a good shot from Albinario. It looks as if he's maybe trying to draw to the rail and come back out, but he's got to watch he doesn't go too far. I think that's the only way he's going to have a shot. Is he trying to... I mean, this is tight. Yeah, that is way too tight. Yeah, in fact, I should have looked at that first before thinking he could just play the shot. There was no way that was going in. Well, Larry's got his work cut out. 8 ball is only going into this left side pocket, or left corner pocket. And, well, you've got to get good on it to be able to play that. Now, is Larry going to settle down after a few racks? He should be finding his pace now. And likewise for Albinario. But the cue ball has been catching him out. Ah, right. Aye, well, that's the part I missed. I missed the scratch. Well, we're getting to the critical point in this rack for Larry, for his prospects of trying to run this table. Now, where he is now, had this been the last ball to get to the 8 ball, he would have been pretty much fine because he could just roll through, pot the yellow and roll through. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Now I've got the hiccups. I'm looking to see what he's trying to do here. He looks as if he's playing the pot. Now, once again, though, he's now got another problem. And the other problem is he's just nudged that red and blocked this corner pocket. So now the 2 corner pockets are blocked. So he's where's he going to hide to stop Albinario having a shot in either of these 2 reds? Not many places. Oops, hit the wrong button again. Well, this is a big risk if he's going to cut this yellow and run across and try and nudge the 8 ball and get lucky on the last yellow, because this is not the way to do it. But sometimes you end up in this situation, you've not got many choices. I mean, this is not the way you want to be trying to run out, because you've got to get some sort of hit. He has a chance to do it, but this 8 ball, even if he did hit it, it might just go there and finish in the same spot. I'm looking at the potting angle in this. You can certainly cut that, and you can help it across with a bit of left English. But it's unlikely the 8 ball would be in play, really. Well, he's got cover on one of the reds, but he hasn't got cover in the other one. And it was all to no avail for Larry. Because even if he had potted that yellow up table, he still had to pot this one and somehow get onto the 8 ball where he had a pocket. So now it's daylight for Albinario. He has a 4-2 lead and he has the break. So now Larry's asking for favours quite early on in the match. I'll be with a ball in the break. Now, again, if Albinario is going to be aggressive, he would pot the red and bump the red in 8 ball. And if he does that, then you know exactly what he's intended to do. Or can he get on the other one at the core? Yes, he can. That's even better. So it goes. I'm pretty certain it goes. Yes, it does. But he's just looking around and getting his bearings so that he knows where he's going next. I mean, the nudging the one in the top rail's fine. Now the cue ball's got to come down table. Well, he's leaving that one in the top rail, or at least he's still thinking about it. I mean, there's the one into the side. Now, how's that worked out? I don't think it's worked out too good. I don't think he can get enough of that red. So now he's looking to cover the pocket in or over, I think. That's a lovely shot. Beautiful little cut. And again, of course, he's in trouble. I mean, it was a good recovery to pot the red, but he's only again got the one red that he can play at, and it's got one pocket, and it's extremely dodgy. That's got scratch written all over it. I mean, he's really got two pockets. He can get into the corner, and he can cut it into the side. Neither of them you want to be playing. I think he's playing the cut into the corner, yeah. This will be another good shot if he gets this. That's well played. And a little nudge off the knuckle. Now he can stun this in, and he's got to make sure he stuns into the side of the yellow. He doesn't want to brush off it and finish behind it. I think he can certainly stun into it so that he's sitting looking at this last red. No, he's managed. So again, see, you can even do those little dinky draws. It looked as if he had to stun that to my eyes. Now, is there enough room for him to squat in behind the yellow? No, he's not risking it. He's leaving the long cut. I mean, it's wide open. It's a nice enough angle. And it's a 3-rack lead to Albinario. So Albie is meaning business and Larry's got his work cut out. He's got to do something in this rack here. This tide has to be stemmed immediately. And Larry's, I mean, he's got a ball on the break, but again, the table has got one problem down the bottom here. And you know that your first shot, you've got to be starting immediately thinking about how you deal with this situation down the bottom here. So he's chosen the reds. He's got another red block by the yellow in the left-hand corner pocket. He's going to sneak this red down the rail and get control of the corner pocket, and really and truly he doesn't want it to go in. Or if he does, he might bump it to the rail and try and nudge Albinario's yellow out the way. I think that's what he tried. I think he tried that with the pace that he played it at, and it's done no damage at all. And Albinario, again, with his thinking cap on, using his shot clock and just looking at what he's got available. I mean, he's pretty much got control of this bottom right-hand corner pocket. He's got one problem, yellow, apart from that. I think he can get to that yellow from there. That's a bit tight to get to that yellow there. But that's too tight. He might... he's maybe having a look at that yellow. I think that's what he's looking at. He might be trying to run the cue ball into the gap. No, I think he thinks he can get it. Oh, he can certainly get it from that angle. He can certainly see enough of it to cut it. But he's playing the one in the side here. Now, I don't know about that shot. Somebody's going to have to explain to me what he tried there. Because I thought that when he was getting himself to the position he'd got to, he could cut that yellow. Well, he's looking at the cut angle into the side pocket. Cue ball's going to run towards the red and the short rail here. Well, again, he's read that angle very well. Okay, he's got no shot, but Larry's not going to have much of a shot after it, I don't think. Albinario's just ducking around the corner. Little bit of right spin just to go the other side of the yellow like that and give Larry nothing. Now, Larry can actually see he's red. Now, is he going to hit this with pace and try and get this red to the corner pocket? I think he's going to hit this with pace and try and get this running. Well, now that yellow needs to get out of the way. It's bumped to red. It's not done any major harm. And Larry, with that one shot there, Albinario didn't get the full lock-up. And he's given Larry a lifeline in the rack. But again, Larry's got a problem. He's gone too far for the red that he might have been wanting to play, because now he's got the wrong angle on the red that he's having to play, and he's gone near the yellow with it. No idea where the cue ball's finishing here. Well, that's probably better than nothing, but my goodness, this is not what you want, because again, the cue ball's leaking away. It's coming up towards the yellow. It's a thin cut, and Larry cannot afford to miss it. And the pace needs to hold off, which it has done. And this is a good escape for Larry if he can get the job done to keep him in touch. And against Albinario. No, it's not. It's on Larry's break. I correct myself there. I thought it was Albinario's break. Well, it is now. But Larry can breathe a sigh of relief that he found his way out there. Just enough of that red showing to cut it to the corner and knock the other one in. Well, Albinario is off and running here. And look again, we've got a big bunch of reds in the middle of the table. We've got all the yellows on. And Albinario's got an easy shot to start him off. And you would think he's going to get out here. Got to drop the one into the side on the left hand side and get rid of the one that's on the right hand side. He's got to do that. But I think he's got to make sure he drops through far enough so that he's not necessarily cutting it and going that way. He wants to be coming down here so that he's... And again, he's not quite got there. But he can still come off this. He really has to be dealing with that one so he can get down to the business end here. Now the angle he's got, yeah, he just had to make sure he didn't, fall into a gap there, because he could have ended up hooked in this yellow up the table. So drawing it into the red took care of that problem. And now there's still another problem. He needs to kill the cue ball or come back off this yellow so that he's making sure that he's cutting this yellow in and dinking that way for the 8 ball. That would be the ideal shot. He doesn't want to be straight. He wants to be like that. And that's thinking about what you're doing. Anybody else could probably just roll that in. You've got to leave it so you're chipping this and going into the gap. And that's how to get it done. And Larry's recovery has been stifled immediately by Albinario's response. It's a gap of 3 again. Well, we haven't seen much evidence of weakness in Albinario's game. Well, the one weakness there is he's had a dry break, and again Larry's under pressure. And this is the assistance that Larry needs. Now, it's not about getting the assistance by getting the dry break. It's about what you do when you come to the table. And Larry knows he just simply has to get this done, and immediately he's gone dodgy. He's committed to the reds, and he's in no shape whatsoever here. He's got nothing doing for him up table. He's got a dodgy cut to keep it going, and he's got it. He's retrieved the situation. Now, I think he's got to try and get over here and deal with this one. I mean, does he want to try and get good in one of these to get on that? I don't think so. He's got an angle to come around, and the only way it will go wrong is if he comes around too far and ends up hooking himself. And that, again, the safest is to make sure you're nudging into it. Again, it's a little delicate cut. but he should be able to avoid the yellow. Again, he's just struggling with the pace a wee bit. And now he's got to go hell for leather to get this in and draw to the rail and try and hold the cue ball to have a shot in that last red. And this is all or nothing. Now, it doesn't look as if he's playing the draw. Is he trying to stun into something? Yeah, he was trying to stun in to play a cut from the short side. I don't know whether he was comfortable enough to actually go right into that cue ball to draw it to the rail and come across. But, it was a wide open chance where the balls were all there. They all had pockets. And Larry's failed to deliver. And that was from Albinario's dry break. And these, again, the racks are just leaking away from Larry. Was it Albinario's break? Or was it Larry's break? And did he get a ball? This rack that we're watching. If I did as Steve. Well, anyway, Albinario is at the table. He does have a 6 rack to 3 lead. And he's looking to stretch it even further. Well, he's got himself in no man's land. But Albie's working on a recovery shot here. Not easy. Well, I think he'll just roll this in and leave himself inside this yellow. When I say inside the right side to the long rail, because there's not much more he wants to risk doing here. He wants to just make sure he still sees the yellow. And the cue ball's just going away from the 8 ball. There's not a lot he wants to be risking trying to do here with this cue ball. You can't afford to take liberties like that with this table. And that's as good as he could expect. And it doesn't touch the side. And it's 7-3 to Albinario. And already it's a long way back. And Albinario is halfway home. And Albinario's break has given him a ball. Well, I think he'll be in a 2 minds here because he's got a yellow on the top rail, obviously, as we look. The red's blocking the pocket. So that's an immediate problem there. If he takes the reds, He's got one dodgy red down this end. So he's trying to cut that one in first to get rid of it. And that's probably a good choice. Because now he's got the table wide open. He can play the little combo. And there's nothing Larry can do but sit and watch. Because I think he'll fear the inevitable in this rack. 8 ball right in the middle of the table. So it's just about manoeuvring your way around. It's just like a little practice set up, this. And the only... Well, there's been very few errors on Albinario's part, apart from having a dry break, I think. He might have got himself in trouble once, but when he's had situations like this, it is no miss. And that's very hard to combat against, especially when you're on alternate breaks. But I do hark back to situations in the past where Albinario getting himself into a good position, and then he seems to suddenly sort of get, his mind maybe starts to wander a wee bit. But no sign of that at present. I think Larry's going to need more than that, though. He's going to need divine intervention here, Larry, the way this is headed. Because this is metronomic from Albinario. Dink, dink, dink. Making sure he rolls through far enough to open up the angle in the 8 ball. Well, they're queuing up to go in here. Ball's going in all over the place. Well, the 8 ball was one of them, so it's a re-rack. So much for that good break. And that's probably one thing about the game. I think Larry mentioned it. It's the one thing that's it's a bit unfair when you have a good break. 2 or 3 balls go in, the table's maybe wide open, and then the 8 ball drops in, and then the next thing you know, it's a re-rack, and then you maybe break dry and have nothing. But Larry's had a red on the break. And the reds are the favoured ball because, again, they've all got pockets. Now, he's got he's got a good way to get out here because he's got a good red to get to the 8 ball. But this one here, going forward, well, it looks as if he's coming back for this red in the side. Now, he needs to be careful with this if he's nudging something. Yep, he's nudged him solid. Well, I think he's just got to make sure he gets out far enough. He doesn't want to fall short on this red here down the bottom. Cut this one in and just get up high enough. And again, it's just gone a bit too far. Again, the pace is just catching Larry out. You've got to be that bit more gentle. And now he's got to control this cue ball now. And now again, he's got more angle than he would like, but I think he can just drop this in nice and soft. And he should be alright. Well, it's one back for Larry. Still trailing before. Break goes back to Albinario for rack number 13. And we've now been playing about 57 minutes in this match. We'll look at where the cue balls ended up. And I don't think Albie's got a shot. Well, he has got a shot. No, or has he? He's not even got a combo down the rail. He's got... let's just say he's got not much going for him here. Well, what do you do in this situation? We tuck the red to the yellow and then just bring the cue ball back across. Oh, he's trying to play the combo. He's got the combo. Now watch this. 1, 2, 3, a 4-ball combo. And the only slight problem with that is, oops, what the hell's happened there? That's weird. The only problem is, though, that he's now nominated on the yellows. And he can just barely see a third of that yellow that's sticking out there. Well, the first thing Larry can do is, when he gets to it, is bump the red onto the red over this bottom left-hand corner pocket and nudge the yellow out of the way. But, I mean, he could do that now. The table, though, isn't good for running out. Well, he was hoping to get a hit on that yellow and maybe stay there for that red. Now, there wouldn't be any harm in just banking the red over to this corner. Well, he's made his decision. I'm thinking, what's he going to do next? He's dead straight, so he can basically only stop it or just roll forward. And once again, he can bank the red or try and cozy it down to the pocket. And he's going to have one chance if this goes in, provided he can see that red over the corner pocket up top to break out the other one, his last red. Now this could bump the yellow and just stay there, this cue ball. If he's going to bank this. Looks as if he's going for the thin edge. Well, I'm assuming he played to try and cut that. So now Albinario has a chance. I don't know whether he's gone too far, but he's got an option with the other one in the other side pocket where he could cut that in and come down and try and nudge this. Yeah, he's good in this one as well. He's missed it. Oh, he's got the hit. He's got the hit from behind. And now he's... How's that look? Oh, it's wide open. Well, that has worked wonders. Missed it in the way up, caught it in the way back. And now he's looking good. Well, he's still got the bailout ball, the one that he's just released. And this rack is over, I'm afraid. For Albinario, it's good. For Larry, it's looking black. Well, it's a lonely place when you're sitting there with 4 racks, looking at the other guy sitting there with 9 and wondering how are you ever going to get back into this match. But all you can do is when you get your break, is just put them all away if you can. And straight away, Larry has a problem choice here. Whatever he commits to, how does he deal with the situation up table? Just got the little double kiss there that pushed that yellow in. And again, there's enough gap on the side rail there for that yellow to push through. Plenty of room for the combo. But he can't see it, I don't think. Now he's again in a dodgy place. I think he can he get enough of that? I don't know whether he can see enough of that at all to cut it up table. Well, this make or break again for Larry. Good shot. Well, this again, the angle's fine. The cut down the rail, the cue ball coming back across. Somewhere in this direction, I would think. He has to make sure it doesn't go that way. He has to make sure it's coming this direction. See, it's gone square. But he's got a little kiss. And he just has to drop this dead weight. Cue ball will still be there or thereabouts. They're just pure and simple dead weight. And he's found a way out. Vital that he had to do that. And now again, he needs a favour. But Albinario's break is successful. Couple of balls in the break. Red over the side pocket. But the yellows are all available. Not a problem to deal with that yellow and then get that one down into the corner. The yellow that he's got there, he can certainly pot that and just go through and get on that one. But that's the problem one if he takes yellows. But once again, Albinario is doing all the right things. He's just making sure that he's clear in his mind where he's going before he makes that first move. And using his shot clock to his advantage so that he knows exactly what's to be done. So he's getting rid of this problem ball. Can he get out of there clean though? I think if he goes forward, the worst that can happen is he's going to brush that ball and come around and out anyway. If he hits it half ball on this right side of the red, well, he hasn't given it enough to get up there, but he's still got a sight in his yellow. I thought he would have been a wee bit more forceful just to come out, but that's what he's played, and he's still in play. We'll have a look at the stats after this match. I'm fairly certain Albinario's helped his situation. Well, this is how it was going to pan out anyway. That red, yellow into the corner, yellow down the rail. And Albinario is into double figures, and he's only 3 racks from home. This is how tough it is to beat somebody like Albinario. Larry's not really done much wrong. I mean, it's tough enough as it is when you're chasing, but you've got to get enough opportunities to give yourself a chance, but he's not had an awful lot of opportunities. Albinario has been fairly clinical with his work, and Larry again under the cosh chooses the reds. He's going to have to play obviously the combo, and that yellow has got a pocket, the one in the side rail. That's not a problem. The problem is the yellow that's next to the cue ball. It's in the way of the other red and getting good on it. But if he was playing this red, he can get to that red provided he gets rid of these two. So, but he wouldn't want to be playing his last red as that one there. He's got to get to this one now. He can do that now by taking that one and getting this one down the rail out the way. He's got to get right into the rail. This looks as if the way it's probably going to go here. He's going to have to get right tight to the rail, roll that in and come out so that he can get this this red here, then cut the other one. This is critical that he gets this part right if he's going to try and nail it to the rail. And it's all gone wrong. I don't know what he's tried there. Did he try to come out for that one? Or was he trying to hold for this one? Either way, he's in bad shape again. Well, I think Larry's about to find out more about this clinical Albinario in this setup, because there's nothing safe. They all have pockets, and the inevitable is about to happen. And I think Larry feels as if he's banging his head against a brick wall because he's getting nowhere. I presume he can dink off the rail and come out without hitting the red. Let's have a look. Maybe not, looking at that. Which is why he's not taking it. I think that's the only thing that's put him off there is the fact that, had he went to pot that yellow, he was bound to be running into this red, and then you don't know where the cue ball's going to finish up. It could have locked up onto a yellow. So he did the right thing there. Now, what was the predictions before the match? Well, there's Dwight said 13-6. Has Dwight not changed his call? Or is that the first one? Is that the first time you called that? Who else called? I think everybody called for Albinario, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody was calling for Larry. Now, Albinario is now 2 racks away. He's broke dry. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what other people were calling for the result. I think there was a 13-9. Was it Bedhead? Was it Bedhead that called 13-9? Oh, welcome to Cobra. Well, Larry makes his choice. And again, there's just the odd little shot there. A couple of shots that Larry's done where he's been caught out with the cue ball. Trying to... The one where I thought he was trying to get to the rail or he was trying to get out for the one that was up top. Things like that where he's failed to get himself out. And no, there's not been much in it in that respect. It's just the fact that every time Albinario has been given that opportunity, I don't think he's failed on it. I think he's pretty much got everything that's going. And that is just so hard when you know your game's not at a level that's threatening Albinario. And when you're in that situation and you've got a table like this where these balls all have a pocket and you're in right now where Larry is, an awkward angle in the yellow, the 8 ball's sort of in the way, and he's trying to get to these last 2 yellows up the table. This is so awkward. And now he's looking at one option, which would guarantee him he would be bringing the cue ball over, but it's a much tougher shot. And he's looking at cutting the yellow to the top right, I think, and bumping that rail and pushing across. I think this would maybe It's hard to say where this line's going with the cue ball. It's looking like a firmish stunt. Yep, he's played the firmish stunt, and that's very unlucky.
Where's the cue ball going?
I missed it against Bedhead. Well, that's the ultimate disaster for Larry. I mean, that was a tough shot there to get the cut. He got the cut, trying to get that cue ball somewhere over that side to have a shot in one of those yellows. And he bumps the red and scratches in the side. And Albinario, 2 away. And once again, he is just plotting his way through this setup here. And you would think within the next 2 minutes, he'll be on the hill. Well, Cobra, you're definitely going to have to be on your game to be messing with this guy. Well, I mean, I'm sitting here scratching my head. You know, it's not a case of to beat Albinario, you need things to go your way. The most important thing above all is that every chance you get, you take it because he's doing it. Simple as that. Anytime you fail, Albinario's on you like a ton of bricks. And this is how Larry's got to be feeling. Whatever chances Larry's had and not delivered, Albinario is doing stuff like this every time. And the pain will be over soon enough for Larry. Albinario 1 away, but Larry's got the break to try and survive another rack. Now, did anything actually go in there? Did I miss something? Yep, 1 ball did go. Open table. Now, again, it would be the case that Larry can obviously play the combo, but he's got a problem just above that right middle pocket with the red and yellow stuck together. Might try to bump them, which he has done. Now, Larry on the reds, and all the reds are there, and this is where he has to get the job done. Eight ball pretty much over the top corner pocket, so no problem getting to the 8 ball. Well, again, he's not got an angle that allows him just to control the cue ball a lot easier when taking that one in the side, which is why he's avoiding it. He's just going to nudge this one in, might bump the yellow. And, well, again, this is like a sort of deft little soft draw shot. And again, he's overcooked it slightly. Well, he should be fine. He may well, again, he could run down into that yellow in the rail, but he's going to have a clear sight of the 8. And the bad news for Larry is the break is back to Albinario. He just has to get his fingers crossed and hope. Oh, the cue ball thought about it. That was almost a...
Where's the cue ball going?
So Albinario has given the first favour to Larry. He's broke dry. Now, I think Larry would have preferred the yellows. He can still cut this one of the two that's on the right hand side here near the corner. But he's got the two that are now together on the side rail. He's got the one above the pocket that doesn't have a corner pocket up top. And the other big thing is these two actually act as a blocker for the bottom right hand corner as well. So straight away Larry's in a situation that isn't looking good. And he may well have tried to run that cue ball there. And now he's in dire straits. Now, what's he looking at here? Well, just trying to open everything up and try and hope he gets lucky. Of course, this is a big problem for Albinario. This setup here. So Larry just hanging on for time here. Oh, you'll need a lot more than confidence, Cobra. You'll need to be on your best game. Definitely. And of course, Albinario has been unbeaten all the way through the straight pool tournament. The last one that we just had there, the one previous to this. And he is unbeaten in this tournament as well. So he's going for the double. Well, Albinario could get down and dirty here if he wants to. He can lock Larry up big time. Yep, that's what he was trying. He was trying to lock him up. He didn't play the pot there. I'm pretty certain he was trying to hide behind the 8 or the other red. But he's not quite got there. Larry can obviously see the yellow. But Albinario could play that shot with the assurance that Larry, whatever he does do, he's going to have hard work to try and run this table with that set up. However, he would need to get to... Well, it's trying to cut that yellow, whereby you're nudging this to bring the other yellow into play if you can. And Larry's trying to get there. And, well, I think that's about as good as he's ever going to get here. He might need to check the cue ball a bit here so that he does catch this. He's hitting it plain ball. Now this, if he hits the yellow half ball, it might just go that direction. Oh, he's went behind it, you see. He's went behind it and now he's got no shot. Well, he's got a bank. That's about it. I mean, he can pot that one, but then again, he's going to have to work out something with this last one. What about the 8-ball? Well, the 8-ball's got plenty of room. That isn't the problem. The problem is if Larry pulls off the bank, is he still going to have the cue ball in play where he can see? Well, that's the end of the match. Larry's nudged the red in. He's given Albinario the free shot to improve this situation down table. And, well, Larry's already disconnected his cue. It's back in the case. The bow tie has come off. The waistcoat has been unbuttoned. And he's finishing off his drink. Because he's heading to the bar. Well, Albinario, realising that provided he gets rid of Larry's yellow ball there, he could drop behind these reds. But he's now going to have to come back down to them. Again, he's reluctant to take either of those two at the moment because he's running into the other red. What he really wants to do is play that one, come this direction, because that's the angle will allow him to draw that direction to get onto one of these two reds. I don't see the only major problem is that ball. It's the fact that he's playing the cut and running into the red. Yeah, he's played it at a pace to keep it in play. And now he's finished dead straight in the one-up table, so it's all about just controlling the pace again. Just get the cue ball somewhere out into the centre of the table, somewhere up like there. Well, it's been a tough night for Larry. He got scraps at the end of it. And Albinario has let everybody know that, again, he means business. And if you're going to beat him, you're not going to beat him by luck. Let's put it that way. Strong performance by Albinario. Way too good. And it's going to take somebody playing very good and Albinario having a bad night if they're going to take him down. And what's more, you're going to have to take him down twice. That's the worst thing about it. Right, let's have a look at the bracket, because the bracket has updated and we now have the big one between Cobra and Albinario, and the deadline date for that is May the 20th at 5 PM British Summer Time, and that is the hot seat match for this tournament. And now, well, we knew where Larry was going, having looked at the bracket earlier on, and just confirmation of that, Larry now will have to battle along with Semi-Pro as well as Zangetsu and Tommy, who are going to fight their way through this one-loss side. So though every match is a good match to look forward to, quick look at the stats. And in fact, what we'll do is, let's look at the... Now, where's Larry? Let's look at this match stats. Wrong thing. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Albinario. Right. So, Albinario ran 5 racks in that match, and Larry ran 3. And look at this for 8 balls. Albinario had 13 8-balls to shoot at, and he shot every one of them. And Larry had 6 8-balls to shoot at, and he shot every one of them. So he never failed there. It's just so difficult to get in. And balls in the break, Albinario averaged 1. Larry was slightly higher. What else do we need to look at? Not much. I think that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Let's come out of that, and we'll look at the overall tournament stats. And right, Tommy still in the lead with 19 racks ran. Semi-Pro on 15. Albinario has gone up to 15. Cobra on 13. Snake Eyes on 11, but he's out the tournament. Larry's on 11, so he's going to have some matches if he can take out Semi-Pro to try and get up the ladder there. Stub on 9 that he's gone. Zangetsu down there on 5. If we look at runouts from the break, Tommy's in the lead there, 13. Semi-Pro in second, tied with Albinario on 11, and Cobra on 10. Snake Eyes is gone on 9, Larry on 8, Mark Shark on 6, Stub on 5. Break fouls, I think Popman's still in charge there. He's on 7, Mark Shark on 6, Stub on 4, Semi-Pro on 4, Tornado Tam, blah blah blah. So I mean, that is pretty much it for the stats. So now we know where we stand. It's all hard work now for whoever fancies their chances of taking out Albinario. It's going to be a tall order. Yeah, he played well. I mean, Larry, you can't say Larry didn't do the right things, because whenever he got a shot at the 8-ball, he potted it. You know, it was clinical, but most of the clinical stuff was Albinario. Really, really going to be tough to beat him. Very, very solid, and doing all the right things for the most part, taking his time, knowing where he's going before he moves. So that is it, folks. These matches are obviously going to be arranged. That'll happen over the next few days, no doubt. And I hope you can join us. I hope I can get to see them as well. So I'm heading for an early night. Once again, thanks for all your company. Remember, if you miss a match, it's on YouTube. I'll bid you all good night. Stay safe. Take care. And we'll see you again soon.
Good night, ladies.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Where's the cue ball?